Klima, you put into the fuse pool and you borrow against it. So definitely there's a lot of things you need to factor in, like what's the liquidation price, what's your collateral, and how much you're going to borrow. So what usually they do, the 99 strategy, is when you take your S Klima, you borrow against it and you buy more Klima and get it staked. And that's how you increase your stack on a faster basis in the sense.
Thank you.
Yep. I'll just move you back to the audience. Let's see if we have anybody else coming in and have a question. So for those who just joined, I'm just here to just share with you about 99 strategy, and I've seen like it's actually someone got liquidated yesterday. So I feel that a lot of people are just aping into 99 without even realizing the implications, the risks. I mean, definitely there's a lot of positive when it comes to 99, right? But I also want to educate. I hope that we can get more people that it's more educated on this. And yeah, we have actually like quite a fair bit of people who are at risk of being liquidated, and I thought that it would be good that I can cover all this so that you know um and we can really get things going. And I would share with you like how to use the calculator, the 99 calculator, as well as what you need to look out for, and then from there it makes more sense for you guys, so you know what's your liquidation price, what is all it's all go what will happen to you, as well as like what's the S Klima will be left over after liquidation, will you lose everything, so and so forth. So in my own capacity, I'm just trying to help as much climates as possible. Yep. So anybody who has got a question, just raise your hand. I'll bring you up. And yeah, I see a lot. Yeah. So I'm actually doing an informal session about 99 because a lot of people are doing it, and I see that a lot of people are. There's actually 12 climates going to be, or rather 13 climates going to be liquidated anytime, at risk of being liquidation. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows how to do 99 properly, as well as understanding how the calculator works. So if you got any questions, just put your hand up and I'll bring you up. Okay, I have a question from Slapton. Mr. Slapton, I've invited you up. Hello.
Ah, there I am.
Hi, Slapton.
Hey, the invite took a second to come through. Thank you for your
Hey, no
time.
problem. Hey, no problem.
So I'm very noob. I've never leveraged in my life. It terrifies me. But what I'm trying to figure out is I understand that you can put up staked Klima as collateral, and my
Yep.
understanding is that
Yes.
you would still be accruing APY as it was collateralized. Is that correct?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. So then, if you were to, let's say, take out USDC against your collateral, there would be an expectation to repay that USDC with
In the future.
interest.
Yes,
Yes.
you're right.
Is that determined by the protocol's contract, or are you just left to is there a due date on that repayment? Is there a schedule on that?
There is no due date on the schedule on when you need to pay off the debt. So long the pool is active, you don't have to. The debt can keep going on as long as you want. So the idea is that even though the interest, you can see the APR right now, it's for USDC is about 76.9, about 77%. It's because the liquidity is not very high right now, so that's why the APR goes up, right? So what usually you do is after that, after a while, once you have you have your stack, it's good enough, you can always remove some from collateral, sell it off to pay off the debt.
Okay, that makes sense. But in theory, you could just leave that debt riding for a year or something like that, and just hope
Yeah.
you're
For ex-
okay.
like for example, I have done the 99 for my I'm a OMI myself. I've done the 99 on Rari for my OMs, and it's been there for like, I don't know, 4 5 months, and I've never once needed to be paid. And market is actually it's under um Rari as well. So yep, so don't have to worry about that.
In-
But again,
Interesting.
I would urge you to understand it on a take be caution when you're doing that. Maybe I can just share with you. Have you seen the calculator of the 99 calculator?
I've seen it, but I haven't used it.
How about I show you how to use it so you have a better idea of how to play around it.
Sure.
Sure, just give me a sec. Let me try and see how can I share screen. That's the part that I'm trying to figure out right now. I don't think I don't think I can share screen though. Oh man.
Uh,
How can I share screen? Let me see. Is there any way I can share screen? Doesn't seem like I can share screen though. But effectively, if you do you have the can you go and open the calculator? Let me post the link for you. Can you try and open the calculator? Then I try and share with
sure.
you a
You
little bit.
post it in general.
Yeah, just give me a sec. Let me post it in general. Okay, hang on, yeah. So if you go to general now, you see the board
Hmm.
answer. Okay, at the
Hmm.
last one, the one with the
Got it.
Krian khyezr all in one.
Yep.
So you click on that, go to the file, and you just make a copy. And the fourth option, you make a copy.
Hmm.
All right. So by default, you see there's a 2S Klima deposited, right?
Yes.
So you can see, right, on the third row, the percentage of borrowed usage is 22%. So in this calculator, there's already some data. So let's just look at it. So two Klima deposited, the carbon price of 1,000, and the stable that you borrow is 200. Okay, the LTV right now, which is the loan to value, it's 45%, and the interest rate it's on the debt is APR, right? So let's look at it, and let's look at USDC for example. Now it's like 76.6. So let's just put 77. So right now you see you see the after 1 month, after 3 months, and after 6 months, right? The debt actually goes up. It should be 209, 230, 265, correct? See that,
Yes. Yes.
right? So you can see, right, what happens there, right? What you want to look at it's the liquidation price, which is of $222.22. In this price, you will be liquidated, and from your original stack of two Klimas, you'll be left with 1.01.
Right.
That's how much you will lose. You will so called like losers, right? So of course you can see after 1 month, right? You can see also above, you can see that there's a leverage as Klima, means assuming that if you take the $200 and you buy a Klima at 1,000 right now, that's additional 0.2 Klima, correct?
Right.
So you can see after 1 month, right? That that your original your what you call that, your liquidation price actually dips to 135.
Right.
You see that? So which means that
Yes.
what it does means that, right, when you put your S Klima in, right, as it rebases, it increases your collateral, which
Right.
further reduce your liquidation. So a lot of people ask me, they always ask me like, what's a good percentage to borrow, right? The answer is actually there is no perfect answer to it, but personally, I would
Right.
say try and keep it less than 20%,
Hmm.
because you must understand one thing that a lot of people are not aware of is sometimes the Polygon network can get congested, and it can take like 30 minutes sometimes to just make one transaction. So the
Right.
thing is
And then
that
you can't get
that's
out.
yeah. So imagine that you think it this way, right? Imagine now the price for some reason is tanking, right? And you want to maybe you have the money, you want to pay off the $200, right? But the issue is because everyone is trying to trying to decollect, trying to trying to do something. Either they're going to pay back the loan, they're going to add more collateral. The network's going to be very congested.
Hmm.
And imagine that you have the money to pay back, but because of failed transactions, right, you get liquidated. That's not what you want.
Hmm.
So generally speaking, I will always ask people to. I mean, it depends on how degen are you, right? Generally just try and keep it like for a start, like of course if you're someone new, please don't do this at all. Just do the 3-3 strategy. That's the dominant strategy. That's really good enough, really. 99 is something that you really have to do really research. You need to understand about liquidation price. You need to understand your ratio, how much risk is going to take, because that's another level altogether. And I don't want to see people getting liquidated, because right now, based on the fuse pool details, I'm seeing like there are 12 people, they're on risk of being liquidated, because most likely they
Oof.
have borrowed, probably like if $1,000 for two Klima, they probably borrowed like, say, like $800. If you just put $800 and you see the percentage is like in rate, it's like 88%.
Mm.
And that's really scary, right? And imagine now you're trying to repay your loan and the network is congested. You're just waiting to see yourself being liquidated. And yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, right? Definitely 99 has its strengths, but I also want to warn you guys about the risks, because a lot of people don't understand that part. And people keep thinking, oh yeah, you know what, I just get liquidated, that's it. But it affects everyone who is actually in the pool itself, because once you get liquidated, you're triggering a sale of your Klima, which actually will affect the price movement as well. So definitely, if you don't have a big stack, or rather you're not just you're not have a big stack, um if you're not experienced, please don't do that. Just do the 3-3 strategy. It's really good enough. This is like something that's really advanced. Like people who have been in like DeFi for a while, know what you're doing, and yeah, that's something you should do. Not something that you just come in and just, oh, you know what, I have a way to borrow against my money and I want to have more Klima, because I FOMO and I see people with like hundred Klima, 50 Klima, and I say, okay, I want to reach there faster, or maybe because APY is dipping, I want to leverage on that part. um, the truth is, it's just a matter of time. For someone, for current the APY, the current APY is like 39, 40,000, right? Probably takes you maybe say 46 days to double your stack. But if the APY, let's just say, drop to 20,000, right? You'll take maybe 56 or 58 days. It's just like 10, 1 to 2 weeks, maybe probably 2 weeks difference to double it's just a delay in the doubling. It doesn't make sure that, oh, now because it dropped by 20%, dropped by 50% to 20,000, it takes me 3 months. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
So yeah, if you got any other questions, yeah, do I
Thank
answer your
you.
questions? Do you have any questions for me?
Thank you very much. And that was very informative. I appreciate it. I have like, you don't have to tell me this, but have you ever personally been liquidated doing 99?
No, thankfully, because I've been very, very careful with my prices. Like, in fact, I'm not sure if you are familiar with Olympus. I think back a few weeks ago, I think there was a big liquidation where people got liquidated 4 times in a row.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Okay.
imagine, I know of someone personally who lost 3/4 of his stack in a matter of like hours or days, like, or maybe like one
Got it.
day, if I'm not wrong. And that's crazy,
Terrible.
right? Yeah. So, and the thing is, when
Yeah.
that happens, right? Olympus almost trading about 1,000, 2,003. It dipped all the way down to $600, and that's not what we want for Klima, right? Especially now that we have a good tool to use, right? 99 is a good tool to have, but we shouldn't abuse it. And that's the reason why the LTV is set at 45%. But there are still people aping in, and going so much into it, and not realizing that how much impact it can happen to them, but not just happen to them, but to the protocol itself. So
Right.
that's why I want to kind of like do this kind of like a informal session, just to give you guys a heads up. Unfortunately, I can't
Okay.
share the screen. I wasn't aware of that, but yeah, I hope that that gives you a bit of better understanding of 99. And if you see someone who is just doing something funny, just let them know. Look, these are the things you need to take note of.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to get out of the way. Jelly Jam has their hand up.
Sure. Oh, hey guys, thanks for joining me. Unfortunately, I can't share screen, but I would love to give you to answer any questions you guys have about 99 strategy, how to use the calculator, and so on and so forth. So if you've got any questions, just raise your hand, and I'll definitely try and answer as much as I can. I mean, hey, good. I just sent you the request to speak. Yep.
Hey, Riku.
Hello. Yep.
Great,
What's up?
great, great. Great to hear your voice. Great to
Yeah.
hear you educating fellow climates
Yeah.
about 99. I think yeah, there's a couple more with questions. I think Avery was one. He was talking in trading, and I was telling him to go down here, but he doesn't seem to have he's here, I think.
Avery is here.
Right, Avery. I think you have a couple of questions that
Yeah.
you might wanna
Let
clear
me
up
see
about 99.
where's Avery. Okay, let me bring you up. Avery, I just put a request for you. Just click in and you can come up and speak. I think it should be somewhere at the top where you can just press and you can come up and speak. Yeah. But thanks for bringing this to my attention, man. Like I saw a lot of people
Yep.
on the risk of being liquidated. That's not fun, man. To be honest, that's not fun at all. Hey, Avery.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey,
Yes. How can I help you?
yeah, I was just I went on to market.xyz today, and
Yeah.
this is my first time messing with it. I've watched some videos on it, but I was just wondering what's the best coin to borrow, number one, and what's a good APR to get in on.
Okay, let's just put it in this way, right? Personally, this is just my take, not financial advice, just to clarify. Personally, I would prefer USDC. Okay, reason being
Okay.
because of the slippage. Because fracs, the fracs that we have, it's not the usual fracs, it's the polygon fracs, right? And the the slippage is pretty high. So based on what I'm seeing, the slippage is pretty high. So I would you lose out quite a fair bit just by getting fracs, and after that swapping it for Klima. So personally, this is just my take. I would personally go for USDC. And when you talk
Yeah,
about
that's
the EP, sorry.
that's what I've so far. Every time I bought, that's what I bought with.
Yeah, because that should give you the least amount of slippage, right? Having said that, of course, the APR now is pretty high because of the lack in liquidity in the borrow pool. You can see right now, because the liquidity for Frax has just dropped to about 450,000. That's why the APR just shot up to about 60%. So previously, I think it was like 20+%. When it was like 900,000, if I remember correct. Excuse me, if I remember it correctly. So definitely, that's what I feel will happen later on when there's more liquidity added, the APR will definitely drop. But of course, when you compare it to the APY from with having S Klima, right? To be honest, that shouldn't matter you too much, because if you actually do 99 and you stake your 99, I mean, or rather stake your leverage 99, leverage Klima, right? That should
Right.
take care of it. Yeah, but definitely again, if you if you are not okay, my advice is very simple. If you don't even have a cold wallet to begin with, then don't do 99. Because to
If I
me,
don't have, if
DeFi,
what now? Say it again.
sorry, if you don't even have a cold wallet, I would suggest don't even do 99, because I mean in DeFi, the first thing you need to do is really take care of your security, and one way is to using of a cold wallet, because this 99 strategy is actually a very advanced strategy, and there's a lot of calculation to take into consideration. It's not something that you say, oh, I just want to leverage and borrow and I can buy more because it's cheap. It's Klima is cheap now, APY is high, etc., right? But it does affect a lot of people, in the sense whereby if you get liquidated, it affects the price as well. So, and you can lose potentially, say, 50% of your stack when you get liquidated, and that's not what you want, right? It's all your hard-earned money. Definitely, that's not what I want anyone to be facing as well. So that's the reason why I'm doing this, so that everyone, like this informal session, so that I can answer as much questions as I can for people who are interested to find about 99, but not necessarily need to take action on it.
All right. So, in what percentage of the collateral would you use?
Okay, again, this is not financial advice. Personally, I'll recommend people to not go more than 20%.
20?
Yeah, not more than
Yeah.
20%. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
the borrowed percentage of borrowed usage. Okay, not the amount not saying that, oh, because I can borrow more, I can take more, right? And I explained to you why. All right, that's the reason why the 20%. Okay, because number one, you want to be extra safe, right? Um,
Right.
Number one, if you were to do a calculation of the market value of Klima right now, it's approximately about 210 to around $20 per Klima. That's the market value. How you calculate? Take circulating supply. No, sorry. Take total treasury assets plus the LP fees divided by total circulating supply. That will give you about $200+. So that, to me, that's my floor price in the event of worst case scenario. That's my floor price. Anyway, this is just my advice, and and that's one. Second thing why I put that 20% was because Polygon is cheap. It's cheap, to do transactions, right? But there are times where it takes a while to perform a transaction because you know the network can get very congested. So when it once gets congested, the issue is maybe you have the money to pay back your loan, but if you're stuck by the transaction, you're stuck by failed transactions, right? That's going to definitely affect you for going to get you liquidated, right? So you have to factor in that part as well. So it's not just so simple as, oh, gas is cheap. I can pump up gas prices. I can pump up gas fees to maybe like 1,000 guai, and I can just pay off that because I got the money, etc. But you have to factor in that, what if the network is congested? What if your transaction fail? So that's definitely, I would urge you to be extra safe in this 99 strategy, especially if you are not very familiar with anything. This is your first time doing leveraging. Personally, I'll just say stick to 3-3 first. Get your stack going. Understand what's your um what's your risk appetite. Do more research. We are actually pumping out some educational content. We're going to do more classes, sessions. Hopefully that we can do more such as these classes. We can just educate a little bit more, getting you guys to understand what it's all about before you do all these things.
Yeah, yeah. I got in on day one, and
Yep.
so I just been 3-3 in the whole time,
Yeah.
and so I was just kind of, I don't know. I hadn't decided to do it the other way or not, but I just want to make sure I did it right.
Yep.
And you wouldn't worry about the APR, being so high, or would you just wait till it come down some?
Honestly, I wouldn't worry so much about the APR because again, when I go back, you are taking something that's giving you 39,000 versus something
Right,
versus 73, right? So
right.
definitely the rebasing will take care of depending on your stack again, right? The rebate, maybe even one rebase will take care of 1 year's interest depending on how big your stack is, right? So to be honest, I'm not too worried about that. To be honest, I'm more worried about people getting liquidated, to be honest. I mean, that's the thing. And the APR will definitely dip. Like just now, it was a point where the USDC APR dropped to like 30-40%. So this is something that is always it's very dynamic. It's always moving based on the liquidity available. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, to be honest.
Is the do you think opening this up that's affecting the price in a positive way of Klima? Is this part of what's making the price go up?
Definitely, because we have more price movements, right? We have more people purchasing Klima because the 99 strategy is to borrow and buy more Klima, right? So that demand goes up, price goes up. But the thing is that once you get liquidated, you are being forced to sell off your Klima at a discount at a price you probably don't want. That will also bring down the price as well. So yes, it does affects you more, but it also affects everyone as well. So doing 99, you got to understand the risks involved.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man.
All right.
I'll just bring you back to the audience. Sorry, I brought myself back to the audience. Let me just bring you down to the audience. Okay. So you guys got any questions about 99 or anything else you want to ask? Just let me know. Put your hand up, and I will try and educate. No, I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't say educate. I'll just share as much as I can to give you a heads up and understanding what's going on. Cool.
Okay, crisis averted. Very cool.
Yeah.
The fellow climate that I was helping repay his loan because he had max borrowed. He's finally repaid his loan, and thankfully there are no liquidations of that sort because the
Okay.
price has been going up. So that's great.
Yeah, but it's still something that I feel that we still have to keep going.
Yes,
Like just for you,
definitely.
just for those who just joined, right? You know, we just started the pool. Okay, like unofficially was like 2 days ago. The pool was
Yes.
start. It was officially announced like yesterday, and we already have someone got liquidated. So
Yes.
yeah, so if you're not and right now, right, based on the metrics of the fuse pool, right, we have 14 people at risk, and one that's potentially going to be liquidated anytime. So I urge you guys to really take caution when it comes to doing 99.
Yes.
And that's the reason why I'm here. So if you guys got any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. I'll bring you up here and I'll try and answer as much as I can. Yeah. So I have one Strat. Yeah. I'm not sure if I got your name correct. Just give me a sec. All right, you should see a button to bring you up on stage.
Oh, hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
I have a question regarding 99.
Sure.
I may have made a mistake and I'm trying to
Rectify.
over this problem. So I was doing this 99. My borrow limit is currently at max.
Okay.
And I did a calculator and I think my liquidation level is really close. Now I'd like to take out the balance and withdraw it so I can pay back my loan and lower my liquidation amount, but it constantly gives me a liquidation error. Sorry, what's it
Oh,
called?
I know. Okay,
Um,
let me try and understand what you're trying to ask, right? So let's just say you have collateralized, say, 10 Klima, and you borrowed, say, I don't know, maybe say $10,000. I know
yes.
$10,000, for example, right? And then after that, right now you are trying to say that can I decollateralize my S
Right.
Klima and sell off, right? You can't.
So it says S Klima, it's completely full in debt, and it says insufficient liquidity. And I'd like to withdraw it and pay it back and bring the liquidation level down. How do I withdraw it, or what do I do?
Right. So I think if I were to step in here, Riku,
Yeah, sure.
I think it looks like that your right now I think the protocol is saying that if you were to withdraw your collateral or some of your collateral to pay back, because currently some of your collateral is your borrowed amount, right? So
Yes.
if you were to take out some of that collateral, you get instantly liquidated because if you take out some of your collateral, you have less collateral and your liquidation price would increase. So currently, the way to go around this problem, from my perspective, there's only one way, which is to use external funds to repay the loan.
Okay.
And when you repay that loan, now you'll have that remaining as Klima that's just in there as acting as collateral, but you're not really loaning anything. So in that case, then you can take out the S Klima that you supposedly borrowed for, but now it's already considered yours because you repaid that loan. So that S Klima that you borrowed, you can go ahead and unstake it and then proceed to sell it on SushiSwap as a way to like sort of like regain that so-called loan that you lost, if you get what I'm saying.
Why is the system considering it locked? Is there a certain time period for the lock, or why would I have to bring in more funds?
Okay,
Oh,
let me take
right,
over from
right,
here.
sure.
Okay, let's just put it in this way, right? So let's just say you've given me $10,000 as your collateral, and you borrowed,
Yes.
say, $9,000. I can't give you back 5,000 to pay off that, because once I do that, means I don't have because once you take it out, I'm not sure whether you pay me back. Correct? You get what I'm driving at?
I understand that. So what would I have to do? Would I have to put in there USDC because that's what I borrowed, or would I have
Yep.
to put in S Klima? What would I have to do?
No, so right now, right, because right now what you need to do right now is to actually you have to on-ramp more USDC, come to the market pool, make some payments. I don't know how much you borrowed. Maybe if you need help, maybe I can much after this session, I can actually, do a one-on-one with you to tell you how to do it.
That would be very
Essentially,
helpful because I'm a little
essentially
confused.
you need to have external funds in to pay off your USDC right now. Let's just say you loan 10,000 So what group is actually trying to say is, let's just say your borrow amount is, let's just say, is 10,000. You don't have to come up with the full 10,000. You can come up, maybe say $2,000, for example.
Okay.
So you put in $2,000, you pay off the loan. So your liquidity, your collateral, your required collateral goes down. Then probably you can decollateralize maybe one or half a Klima. Take that Klima, sell it off, and after that continue to do that as you pay off the loan. Your only risk right now is Klima price don't dip. If the moment price dip, liquidation will just take effect straight away. So
Okay,
my
and-
personal take is, if you got any spare cash or any altcoins that you feel like it's not performing too well, or I think it's pretty okay, sell it off, clear off the USDC right now.
And then I just work my way up again. So I ladder in the USDC as I
Yep. So
de-risk and pay off the loan.
let's just say, okay, so you put in external 200 additional $22,000. All right.
Uh-huh.
So your collateral goes down, the required collateral goes down. Just take out a little bit. Don't take out too much, because once you take out too much, you also will trigger liquidation, right? Because the price is still dynamic. So maybe remove like half a Klima, unstake it, sell it off, take the sell it off as USDC, go back to market, take the amount you have sold, pay off the loan, let it go down a little bit more, do the same, just keep repeating it. You have to do probably a few times before you get it in a healthy range.
I see. And what would be the ratio for me to pay back the loan? You said what's the ratio?
Honestly, I would say you should. My take, it's actually just keep it at 20%. So I believe you borrow up to like 80%, right? Or 90%.
Higher,
Have
yeah.
you used the calculator?
I have.
Yeah.
But I
So
made
you-
some mistakes. So that's why I'm here right now. So
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You made mistakes. It's okay. So long you don't get liquidated, that's the most important thing. Probably the one that I've been highlighting, the 1% that's going to be liquidated is probably you. And I really don't wish that to happen to anyone, to be honest. And I really hope that you can, if you have additional cash right now, quickly convert it to USDC, start paying the loan first. Then you start to decollateralize your money, your Klima. Then just keep doing this cycle until it brings it down to about 20%. Based on the calculator, if you want to be really safe, 10, 15, it's perfect. To be, in my opinion, like 20,
10,
it's
15 what? Sorry, 10, 15 what?
percent of the percentage of borrowed usage.
Bring it down that much, you mean?
Yes,
Yes. Okay, I understand.
because again, there are two things I'm talking about. Because what if something happens, like, okay, let's look at past trends, right? The lowest we've gone to was like probably like, whoop, he left. Okay, I think he's worried. Then he's leaving right now to do his stuff. So we have 2% here. Oh, he's back. So what's up? Hey, what's up? Okay.
Yeah, hi, I'm
Wait,
back.
let me-
Sorry, just press the wrong
Yeah,
button.
so let me
Okay,
just
I'm gonna do
settle
that.
Stratware's question first. Just give me a sec.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna
So
say to
Danzi,
Shred, if you.
just let me settle him first. Just hang on a minute, right?
Oh, I was just gonna say something for Shred. I'm not even here to really ask a question. I was gonna say if you have other assets on Polygon, you can just, like, let's say you've got ETH and Aave or something, you could just move that over, put that ETH into the market, and then that'll increase your liquidation
Okay.
price, and then you can take out a little bit of claim at a time, swap that, pay off your loan, take a little bit more, swap that, pay off your loan.
I understand.
Yep.
Thank you for that. Is there any
That's
way to
another
see
way to
your
look at it.
liquidation price?
Sorry.
Is there any way to see your liquidation price?
As of now, there's nothing you can see the liquidation price on market XYZ. You have to use the calculator for now. I'm really talking to the people at the market to see whether they can actually add in the liquidation price. So hopefully that's something we can see in the short in the short term.
Okay.
So, but
Yep.
thanks Danzi for coming in to see that. Yeah, you can see all the assets, right? Like you can have USDC, you can have Frax, you can have WMatic, WETH. These are the assets you can also use to put out as collateral. Sell them to decollateralize your Klima, and then have to sell off.
I had Klima on another account. I sent one Klima, switched it to USDC right now, and I'm going to do exactly what you said.
Yeah, just really decollateralize as much as you can.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your help. I'll do what I can. If not, do you mind if I contact you later on if it doesn't work?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, I'll do my best. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay. What's up? Hey, what's up? Do you have any question?
Yeah, more so just kind of curious to get your thoughts on the situation, I guess. So like when I'm looking at this pool, like immediately noticed that it was heavily collateralized with fracks, and I saw someone talking today on one of the channels mentioning how like on Polygon, I guess there's two fraxes, and like basically if it's easy to accidentally go and buy the wrong frax, and then you try to go pay off your loan and you can't pay it off, and so
Yep.
there's just like it seems to me like this whole thing is kind of like this like thing that powder keg that could like is kind of inevitably going to blow at some point. So like because it happened with Ohm too, right? When they announced
Yep.
Olympus V2 was coming out, right? And then that you got the whatever it was, like a 50-60% drawdown or whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious, like as someone who's familiar with 999 and like the just kind of has seen the space for a while, like how do you
Yeah.
think about the risk with something like this? Like, would you just like keep capital on the side and be ready to buy that dip when it, like inevitably it does, like stuff does start to get liquidated, or like because it just kind of seems like inevitably you're going to have people getting into this that don't really know what they're doing, and then at the worst possible time the whole system is going to lock and people aren't going to be able to get out. So like, how do you just kind of think about it from like a risk management perspective?
Personally, that's what I've been trying to advocate here by actually keeping your liquidation to about 20% of your borrow amount. Your percentage of borrowing should be about 20%. If you can go a bit lower, if you feel that you want to capture the dip, can go about even lower, like 10%. Just to make sure that when the time comes, you can actually do that. So I do agree with you that the frax thing, the Polygon frax, it's slightly different from the rest, right? And in fact, I can be very honest with you guys that I personally did a borrowing, realizing that it's the wrong frax that I have, and the slippage was pretty high. So I borrowed and I returned it straight away, just so that to reassess what I want to do, right? And through that that repaying took me half an hour. And so I think I just wanted to let people know that wow, this is a very good strategy to play on. This is really advanced, and I will agree. I believe like Root and WhatsApp will actually agree with me that this is not something that you can just do it just like, oh, because it's cool, it's fun, I can leverage, I can buy more, and I just go ahead and do it. But not realizing that you have to factor in a lot of things like slippage, liquidation, and market movements, um, um what's that, network congestion, stuff like that. I'm not sure if I
Yeah, no,
question.
no, yeah, definitely. It's definitely useful perspective. The other thing I was kind of thinking about is like, is there in what scenario is it better to go to a place like Market XYZ to like borrow? Because like I was thinking like if you have any of your own capital that like let's say you're holding like some other currency that like it seems like it's always safer to just kind of like lend it to yourself. Like if you're going to pay it off eventually, right? Like you could take a loan out from yourself by just pulling from a different bucket, like so, some other kind of currency, or even like a credit card, like with the APRs. Like I know that sounds kind of dumber, like, but like if it's basically like half the APR if you just put it on a credit card, and then like you can't get liquidated because it's your own. Like, I guess it could affect your like credit history kind of thing, but like it's you're your own lender at that point. So just kind of
Yeah.
curious, like if they're like at what point would using something like, is it just really like if you're so if you have no other funds available and you just really want to lever up your position that you would just use something like that, or like why would you use one of these lending platforms instead of trying to get it?
Okay, let's just put it in this way. Number one, you're right. You can do that. I'm not saying you can't, but that will definitely affect your credit score in real life, right? One. Two, it's an ongoing debt, which means that you can get sued for, you can get you maybe you can reach a point where I'm not, again, I don't not sure how degen you are, right? You can even get served with a bankruptcy notice because you can't pay off your stuff because everything is stuck. I mean, there's a lot of things, right? That it does affect you in real life. But when you do things like market XYZ, right, what you do is you're just effectively using what you have and you borrow against it. And the truth is, as the loan progresses, right, because of the rebases, it takes care of the liquidation itself. It takes care of everything itself. So that's the beauty of market XYZ. And I personally wouldn't do that. I wouldn't actually borrow against my, like, say, credit cards, and And of course, definitely, if you do like personal loans, you calculate the APR, which is like, for example, the APR right now for USDC, it's 92%. That's stupid if you compare it to, you're overdrafting from a credit card, right? But you run a risk where if in real life you really need money, for example, or something like that, that line of credit could help you as well. So personally, that's not what I would actually say. What's the word? I want to promote that. Do I answer your question?
Yeah, no, it's because I think you're spot on that like it can hit you in other areas of life where it's like it's
Yeah.
nice to have maybe have crypto kind of siloed off as its own kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just like just kind of mathematically, it seems like as long as you're comfortable kind of liquidating yourself, like you're
Yeah.
paying less interest and you can't get stuck in this thing where it's like the system locks. But it's a good point that like as the your liquidity price is automatically being lowered by the platform as you get your rewards. But like if you're kind of holding yourself to your own liquidation price, then you kind of get the same behavior. You just have to track it yourself. But no, I think it's a good point that like it obviously as soon as you're using kind of real life credit lines like that, there are different implications. So
Yeah. I mean, if you
thanks
look
for
at it
the
from another, no problem. If you look at it from another perspective, right? Like if yeah, oh, he left. Okay, but yeah, sure. I mean, that's why my take. It's, let's just say worst case scenario, like for our reason, right? Like the crypto, everything just goes to zero, right? I mean, you still have your day, your real life, right? You still have your real job. You still have your real credit to take care of, right? You can still rebuild from there. But if you were to do something like that, something happens in real life. I mean, if something were to happen, you will be stuck. You can't do anything about it, and that's not what I want as well. So I think just be extra safe. That's what I would say. Definitely. Yep. So thanks very much. Any other questions? I will probably do another 10 to 15 minutes before I call it off. But if you guys got any questions about the 99 strategy or any other question you have about Klima itself, excuse me, I'll be more than happy to answer. Oh, someone that I always see on Twitter. I'm not sure if I got your name correct. Clout.
It might be Cood.
Coot. Hello.
Coot. Clout.
Yeah.
How do I pronounce your name?
Coot.
Coot. Hi.
It comes from an old anime.
Yeah. It sounds very familiar, but I just cannot pinpoint where is it. It feels like Final Fantasy.
It's
the one
probably was used in Final Fantasy, but no, I got it from an old anime. Anyway, do you have a good calculator for liquidation prices?
Yes, I would use the one that it's in the bot answer, the one that it's by Brian and khyezr. It's called the Brian and khyezr all-in-one calculator 334499. So you can just go to the bot, or you can just go to the bot channel, and you type. I forgot what's the command. Sorry, I have too many windows open. How do I 99? How do I?
Or you can just you could just /ask and and you just type in calculators with a question mark and you'll
Yeah.
get it.
You also get that. So use that calculator. That's a very good calculator that a dear friend of mine, khyezr, did it with the blessing of Brian to do this calculator for you guys to figure out what's your liquidation price.
See, okay, I'll have a look at it. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, man. See you on Twitter. Hey, we have Boogie here. I'll just move you. I'll just move you. Yep. Hey, Boogie.
Oops, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you right now.
Cool.
Yes.
How you going? Look, it's not really related to, I guess, like the topic right now. Maybe you don't necessarily have to answer it, but I'm just curious about.
Sure.
You have Vera projects that you currently retire at the moment. Is that right? And I'm just curious about the other projects, other certifiers like Gold Standard or Plan Vivo or something like this. And if at what point in the future do you think they will sort of come online to be a part of Klima, if they're going to be a part of it at all?
Okay, I just want to do a disclaimer. I'm not super familiar with the carbon market.
Okay, no worries. Yeah.
Okay, but let me try and answer your question to my best
Mhm.
ability. As of now, we are working with Token to bring up more, to really bridge more carbon on chain. And right now, as far as I know, Token is actually looking at what's that called? Bring on chain ITMOs. ITMOs essentially it's a compliance market carbon credits, which means that in the future we are not just talking about because right now we are talking about voluntary carbon markets. That's the BCT that we're buying right now, right? And we're looking at countries. We're looking at compliance market. If you look at the Article 6 in the in the recent article that I think Chairs posted up in the Amplify or the KlimaDAO official Twitter, right? You see that there's an article about this thing about ITMOs and compliance market carbon offsets. So that's the next step that we're looking at. So we're no longer looking at a voluntary market because those, as of now, they are considered the lower quality carbon offsets. What do I mean by lower quality? They are slightly of a cheaper price. So as that progresses, right, that would further increase the quality of BCT going forward, which means that one BCT may no longer be $6, $7. It could be like 10, 20, 30, or even $40 going forward. And if you look at that article itself, there are a lot of countries who are talking about their plans, their goals on reducing emissions and talking about having more buying more carbon offsets. And that's something that it's very bullish, in my opinion, how big Klima is going to be next year onwards. So I'm not sure if I answer your question, but that's what I know as of now. But if you're talking about anybody to bring on board to work under Klima, as far as I know, no. But we are working very closely with Token to bring more offsets on chain.
Okay, great. Yeah, cool. Good to know. So I sort of cut out just a little bit. So just to clarify, it was you're working more with the compulsory, like non-voluntary market for the next sort of steps.
Yeah.
I think if I were to step in here, while right now we are sourcing for VCUs of a certain if you call it of a certain type, so let's say of a certain vintage. So sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what we're currently trying to do is trying to accumulate as much of that particular vintage. Disclaimer: I'm also not a big expert in the carbon market, but judging from what I've been hearing in our policy talks and as well as from people who are versed, such as Dionysus within our office hours, they are looking at sourcing higher quality carbon credits as soon as the BCT price goes up. Because as the BCT price goes up, it'll be more worthwhile for other companies who hold these offsets, these high quality offsets, to bridge it over to us, because they wouldn't want to incur a loss, so to speak, because their carbon credits are worth more, especially gold standard and the more recent Vera carbon credits. So
Yeah.
on top of the ITMOs, we are also looking at getting a share of those higher quality carbon credits, but it's going to take a while because currently the BCT price is trending at around $6, $7, and as soon as that price increases, yes, the rest of the carbon credits will definitely be fair game for us.
Cool, great, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for the question. Yep, thanks, good for covering that. Yeah, still something that I'm trying to really learn more about the carbon credits. We do have a lot of experts. We have like climate scientists that are in the DAO, and it's really crazy when you hear them talk about it. And I'm still I'm still trying to wrap my head around the tokenomics of Klima, like understanding all this like 99 strategies and stuff like that. So it's still a learning curve, man. Every day I'm learning something, man.
Yes. And if any of you guys like want to learn more about the carbon markets, I'm sure the following channels, carbon markets, climate, they're filled with people who are truly experts in the area, because these are guys who spend their whole lives researching about the carbon markets and researching about climate. So you should definitely check out these two channels if you want to know a little bit more about the science behind the carbon market, the carbon industry, and climate science as well. It's I think for our DAO, it's not just about price and it's not just about crypto in general, but what we're trying to achieve has real world repercussions as well. And so therefore we definitely ask every one of you guys to check out the carbon markets and the climate channel and see like the tangible results of what we're trying to achieve as a DAO. Yeah.
Yep, cool. Thanks, Group, for that. So of course, if you guys got any questions, I can still take like maybe 2 or 3 questions. So if you guys got any questions, please raise your hand. I'll bring you out on stage, and yeah, we'll just talk. If any questions, honestly, not necessarily have to be 99 right now, but if you have any 99 questions, how to use the calculator, how do you see all these things, definitely I will try my best to answer. Yeah. Oh, so Green Monster actually asked a question about this. Just in the Q&A, but I can't seem to answer. I can't seem to answer it because it's locked. Hang on a minute. Yeah. For some reason, I can't seem to answer it. Yeah. So he's asking about the threshold of the at risk, the 12 people that are at risk of the being liquidated, right? What price? Then he's asking like, how many people know what's the threshold? The thing is, we don't know. We can't tell
Yeah.
because we need to see their actual stack and their info, their stack, as well as what's their liquidation price. Then I know it's very individual based. And as well as the second question is asking, in other words, how much does the price need to dip for the 12 wallet to be at risk of liquidation? To be honest, I'm not too sure. I don't. Again, it's the same answer again. We need to see the exact their details, but I guess probably I honestly have no answer to that. Probably it dips below 1,001, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely depends on like the person's loan amount, the person's amount of collateral that he has, as well as I think right now we have to understand that market XYZ is currently in beta. So a lot of the functions that I feel we should have on market XYZ is currently not available, namely like liquidation price, outstanding loan that you have to pay, certain key pertinent information here is still in the process of being added. So I would recommend for everyone, if you want to take a loan, if you want to put your Klima up as collateral, definitely do so with a lot more caution right now, because the lending protocol, which is market XYZ, is in beta as well. So there are definitely improvements to be made in that space, and we are working quite closely with Market XYZ in order to push some of these so-called safety nets to make 99 a more inherently safe way of going about with your Klima. Yeah.
Yep.
Just wanted to
On
put
that
that
note,
in.
yeah. On that note, for those who just joined, we are also in the midst of creating like explain, like I have 5 explainers as well. So for those who are not too sure about it, not too sure about 99, please hold your horses. Just wait for all the educational stuff to be out. Do more research. Really do more research before you do anything with 99. I have a friend here, Clairvoyance here. Hey, thanks for joining, man. Yeah.
Hey everyone. I just wanted to check in what you guys were up to. Just wanted to
Yeah.
see.
No, I'm just doing some last minute impromptu 99.
A simple Q&A.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
just because we have like, based on the stats, we have like 12 wallets that are at risk of being liquidated, and I just thought that it's just only like 2 days old, and there are people getting at risk of liquidation. So I just wanted to have a bit like a informal session to just get everyone like educated.
Yeah, so as far as leveraging goes, before you begin leveraging, before you begin even supplying your assets to market protocol, please do your own research and consider all the risks that might come with your investment.
Fair point. Very, very rather excellent point. So if you guys got any questions, please come on board, ask your question, and yeah, I'll try and answer as much as I can. So Green Monster, oh, someone, Stratware is back. Oh, hi, Stratware is back. So I'm trying to save him. So I think he's the one wallet that's going to be liquidated anytime. Yes, you're back
Oh,
on.
Hello?
Yes, how can I help?
hi, the degenerate's back.
Yeah.
So I did what you said, and I brought down my liquidation significantly after destaking about 6 times. So I think it
Cool.
worked for the intermediate term, but I have to educate myself completely. So thanks,
No,
guys. You saved my ass. Appreciate
no
it.
problem, man. I mean, to be honest, if today no one got learn anything, I think I did my job by helping that one person from being liquidated, and that's you.
I'm
And
very
I think my
grateful.
job is done.
Thank you.
Right, cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? I think someone has a question. Green Monster, actually, you have a question, right? Do you want to come up and ask?
I think
Anybody?
Short Me had a couple of questions. I think you were asking questions in the trading channel. I told you to come down here. So if you don't mind speaking and asking about your
Yep.
question,
No,
that would
let
be
me bring you
excellent.
up. There should be the button at the top that you can just press and come on board and just ask any question. Hey, hello.
Hello, hello.
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, thanks. Thanks, guys, for holding this. I just had a quick question. I was like looking to deposit USDC into the pool, and I was just wondering, like, oh, how long? Like, do they lock it, or can I pull on it whenever? Stuff like that, really.
Yep. How long do they lock it for? You're
Yeah,
asking?
like, is there like parameters? Like, does it actually get lent out, and I'm like now waiting for somebody to pay it
No,
back more so, or is it?
no, you can put it today. You can put it like now and take it out the next minute. There's no lock-in period.
Okay, and then as long as obviously, right, it pays out the APR, APY, right, every
Yep. You
so
also
often,
pay.
right?
Yep, correct.
All
So
right, thanks, man.
it's ongoing.
Gotcha. All right, that's really all. Kind of my question was. I understand like the whole 9-9 part. I was just more so new to the aspect of like depositing
Yeah,
assets,
not a problem, man.
not just like my Klima, depositing actual like USDC for.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question. Yep.
Yeah, I
You.
think.
Yep.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. I think like a lot of people, like we've been talking about Klima and 9-9, but like looking at some of the APYs for some of the stable coins, especially the stable coins that I think the market XYZ values, like the APY values are pretty profitable right now. So if anyone of you wanted to like do like any stable coin farming, like why not just drop it in market XYZ and profit off that APY. So yeah, that was just something I wanted to highlight.
Yeah, that's the safest thing to do right now. If you have any assets that you feel that okay, I want to just take advantage of it's sitting my MetaMask and not doing anything. You can just put it there, deposit it, and just earn extra interest on that. While if you're waiting for a good price to enter Klima, that's the best place to put your money right now. It's easily for you to just take it out and buy in Klima when you feel the price is right. Yep. So if you guys got any questions, just please feel free to raise your hand. I think we can answer like probably one more before we cut it off. So anybody got any questions, just raise your hand. We bring you up on stage. Yep. In fact, we were one of the person who create the calculator here. Khyezr is in the room, but I'm not going to bring it up. I don't want to put it at a spot. But if you guys got any questions about the calculator, do let me know. I can help you answer as well.
Definitely. I think the calculator, like right now, the calculator, like Brian and Khyezr's calculator, it's your friend, when you're in this 9-9 journey, and you should definitely like before you make any decision, you should be consulting the calculator.
Yeah, that's your Bible. Please, just really play with it. Like, just do your worst case scenario. Play out your worst case scenarios on the calculator before you do it in real life. All right. If we don't have any more questions, just going to be ending it off soon. Any last questions? Anyone who have any questions? If not, I'm going to just end it off. If you don't have, okay, right. Thanks again, Clairvoyance, for dropping by. Thanks, Group, for doing this. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.